Hi Usha, I'm Ella and I'm going to be interviewing you today on your artworks and what you do.
Nice to meet you, Ella. Thank you.
It's great. So you have made a lot of artworks using everyday domestic objects such as brooms, irons, and clothing pegs. These are unusual things to use for your artworks. So why did you choose to work with these specifically?
So I like working with them because of what my work is about. And my work is about women, but women's place in the home. So my work questions the way society has defined the role of women in the house. There's a certain expectation on women to be a certain kind of woman, but a certain kind of role that we as women are expected to play. And this transcends all races and all classes. All these objects do certain things, right? So like a broom sweeps. So what is sweeping? Sweeping is like cleaning and moving things away. And then if you think of like what women do, like in relationships, we clear things away. Or I work a lot with gender-based violence as well. And I play with like ideas of sweeping something under the carpet. So like the emotions that you don't want to deal with, you just like bury them underneath. So these objects allow me to make very strong and powerful statements about what it is that I want to say through my work.
So you feel more comfortable using these because you have them at home and it's like part of your everyday life.
Yes, and I also want people who see my work to be able to access the work. So there's a lot of artwork that's very conceptual, that people who haven't done art history or who haven't been to a gallery before don't understand the work. But somebody who's never been to a gallery before and sees something with an iron, immediately they recognize that and they say, oh, I know that. So I also like that it's an ordinary everyday object that ordinary everyday people can access the work.
So your piece Triangle appears on book 4 of the Mbali book series Adventuring into Art over here. So why did you choose such worn out and broken brooms?
So the process that I used in order to make this piece along with other pieces in this body of work was I invited neighbors and friends and family to give me their used stuff. And I asked them for all these things. And then once all these objects arrived, I started making work with it. So it was very important for me that these were used because the fact that they were used means they carry a certain history, they carry a certain story to tell, they carry a certain energy, and that was important for me. So each of these brooms tells its own story. And then when I put them together in this shape or the sculpture or this form, then they tell a collective story. And the collective story is about what's in common to all these individual people that tells the same story. And so that's why it was important for me that it's used.
So, and the shadow is prominent. Did you do that purposefully?
Yes. So I wanted to accentuate the form, and I like all the lines going down. And then the way it's installed, also the shape comes out of the wall. So the triangle is not flat against the wall, it comes out of the wall.
Oh, wow.
And so, and then all the verticals kind of hang down. So I wanted to accentuate that because now with the shadows, there's more, it's like there's more sticks. You see, there's like more verticals, and that's what I wanted.
So where is this artwork now?
So this was part of a body of work that I made in 2012 called Venus at Home. And I have kept the work for all these years. It's shown, it was on a traveling exhibition, a traveling museum exhibition that went all around South Africa to lots of museums. And it's been written about extensively. It's been documented really well. And because they're used, they're old and they're brittle, and the work started kind of falling apart a bit. So a big part of making art as a professional artist for collectors and for museums is to consider the life of an artwork. And some artworks are meant to be temporary, and some artworks are meant to not last forever, and some are. The nature of this work is that it was a temporary kind of artwork made to make a statement in its time. And so I have now destroyed the work.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
Just this week.
Did you enjoy it?
It is a bit bittersweet because I think it's quite like a milestone work or like a statement piece that has influenced so much later work. But I also feel like it's been documented so well and it's become kind of iconic. And if something like this needs to show again, it'll be a new work. Like it's had its time and it's there. It exists in its documentation.
So tell me more about the title Venus at Home.
So Venus at Home was the title of the exhibition. Venus is a goddess, right?
Yes.
And a goddess, like if you think of a goddess, does she do housework?
No.
Right. So now a Venus at home means what?
She has to do housework.
Exactly. So it's playing with that.
How has your style and approach to art evolved over the years?
I think I keep seeing how far I can take the material and the concept together. And sometimes, actually, that means doing less to them, right? So I've also learned to simplify. So my process has become where I have an idea where there's too much in there. And then I take away, and say, how can I reduce it so much that it only has the essence of what it wants to say?
I was reading that your work has a Dadaist influence. What is Dada and how has it influenced you?
So Dadaism was a movement and it was kind of like a rebellion against war, where the artists at the time started embracing humor. They started embracing like imperfection and the nonsensical, right? They said the most important rule in Dadaism is that there are no rules. And I like that ability to be so free that it doesn't conform to anything. A key part of it was that they used found objects. And so I think in addition to using very specific found objects, I do embrace a kind of whimsicalness, a humor, a contradiction, where I make my own rules in a way. And so that's where I align with Dadaism.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my absolute
really
pleasure.
lovely.